I did a little bit of shopping, but it's gonna be okay. So hi guys, and welcome to HeidiKMakeup. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. I do all kinds of videos, from project pans to things about cruelty-free makeup. This video is going to be a little bit closer to the cruelty-free stuff. I'm going to be talking about a bunch of cruelty-free items, mostly drugstore, almost all drugstore, except one thing that I have picked up kind of so far this month. I kind of realized that my collection is finally to the point where I want it to grow again. There's areas of my collection that I felt like are kind of lacking and could kind of use a little bit more options. And so I went out, and there were a couple things that I was out of completely. Like, I didn't have a single concealer, or I'll talk about it when I get to it. So I picked up a couple of things, and I thought that I would show it to you. Most of them are drugstore. One of them is from Ulta, and I'll start from the thing from Ulta first. And it is this Pure Pressed Mineral Makeup 4-in-1 Powder Foundation. I've never tried anything from Pure, and it's the PU with the 2 dots above it. I don't know what that's called. R line you can get it at Ulta. And they are completely cruelty-free, not even owned by a parent company that tests, and I'm told they have a pretty extensive vegan line, which is really, really awesome as well. I have run out of the pressed powder that I was using. I was using an e.l.f. one, and I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and try a higher end one. And I don't know what it was, I just thought that this packaging looked really cool. It feels really sturdy. It's really, really sturdy. And this isn't like a haul, like I've used all of this, but I really have been liking this. In fact, I put it in a project pan because I liked it so much. It's really, really nice. And this is one of those things that made me realize, if you're only going to have one face powder in your collection, if you're only going to have one of each thing, if your collection is going to be small, just get the nice thing to begin with. Instead of having 4 foundations from the drugstore, get one. So that's kind of what my thought process was with this, and I really do like it so far. Everything else is drugstore. I wanted to pick up a face primer because I felt like my foundation was looking a little bit cakey, and I felt like I could use a little bit of a primer, and I saw this at my drugstore. It is the Wet n Wild Dewy Photo Focus Face Primer, and it said it was new, and I hadn't seen it around before, but anything that says dewy I grab because my skin is so dry. I like being able to just like pick something up. And I've used it a little bit here and there. I'm not sure. I definitely wouldn't recommend this if you have oily skin. I'm not sure that it does much more than just moisturize my skin, but I like it. We'll have to use it a few times. The one thing that I did notice about it is that it comes out with like a tint to it. And I don't know if that tint would show up as like a white cast on a deeper skin tone. It doesn't look dark on me, so that's good, but just something to keep in mind that I didn't know because I hadn't heard of it. Another primer product that I got was an eyeshadow primer. I didn't have any eyeshadow primer, so I picked up the Milani eyeshadow primer. I've used this before. I really like it. It's my go-to for drugstore eyeshadow primer. There are some higher end ones that I like a lot too, but this I think does a really, really good job. And Milani was having a sale where if you spent $50, you get $5 off. Like, I had a coupon, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up that primer. And then speaking of Milani, I also picked up a concealer because I didn't have any concealer at all. And I saw this quad, and it really appealed to me. One, because it had that salmon tone, which is kind of hard to find, particularly in the drugstore. The only other one that I have found is by Pixie, which isn't really drugstore. And that was in Target, and that was quite a while ago. I don't even know if Target still sells Pixie because I haven't seen it in a while. I've used it some, and I have to say I do really like that salmon shade. And the other thing I like about it is it comes in different skin tones. So I got the fair to light, but say you need that salmon shade, but you have a deeper skin tone than me, they have like these quads and darker shades as well, which I thought was pretty cool. It's not a huge shade range by any means, but I did think it was cool that it wasn't just like, here's our one concealer. And then the other thing that I picked up from Milani was one of their lip plumping glosses. I had one in my recent empties video that I really, really love. They're those ones that have a little bit of a sting to them. I am wearing it right now. But you can't really see the color because I layered it over something. And this is in the shade Blush, and I really like these. They have kind of that tingle, so if you're not into that, don't do that. And it's not like a highly pigmented thing, it's just kind of glossy. So don't buy this expecting it to be like a liquid lipstick or anything, but I'm into this. I'm enjoying this, and I'm already kind of inspired. In fact, I have some new ideas for how to use this with my Pan That palette, but we'll cross that bridge later. A couple tools that I needed to pick up. I had to get another sponge. It's dirty right now because I need to wash it. I used it this morning. But I picked up another one of these Real Technique sponges because my other one was looking a little ratty. And then I picked up one of these e.l.f. small angle brushes, which I used to have, and it disappeared somewhere. My kids probably hid it, or maybe I lost it in the move, I don't know. But I picked up one of these, which are just really nice for eyeliner, because I only had like one liner brush that I was using, and I found it really frustrating going back and forth between like dark and light shades. So I have one that I'll use for dark and one that I'll use for light shades when I'm trying to do the Pan That palette look. Speaking of eyeliner, I also picked this up. Now this is by Black Radiance, which is a drugstore brand that you guys might not know about. And I believe they are cruelty free because I think they're owned by the same company that owns Wet n Wild. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 99% sure that they're cruelty free. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that trying to find a black eyeliner that I can put in my waterline is this ongoing battle. And even like the really nice high-end ones, I have problems with them in my contacts. They just cause problems for me. So I thought I'd give this one a go because I haven't really tried much from their line. The line is more for women of color. So that is nice. They have really affordable foundation if you're looking for a cruelty-free drugstore foundation and you have a deeper skin tone. But anyone can use a black eyeliner. That being said, and it's pretty inexpensive too. It's like Wet n Wild prices. That being said, I am wearing it right now, and it was not nice to put on. It took quite a bit of work. So I don't know that I'm going to be in love with that for my waterline, which is why I bought it. And then the last thing that I picked up, I was looking for a dupe for the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams that was cruelty-free but wasn't owned by a parent company that tests. Now, I've kind of recently changed my ideas about that, and I'll link in the iCard the video that I posted about kind of what I think about parent company testing, because it's evolved and changed over the years. But I saw this by Jordana in my Walgreens, and it is their Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Color. These are really nice. I don't usually try much from Jordana because obviously they have, at least at my store, they have like this tiny display and all it is like lip liners and stuff. It's by the same brand that owns Milani. It is cruelty-free, and I really like this. It's in the shade Rose Macaron, and that's what I'm wearing on my lips right now. The only thing about it that I'm not crazy about is that it's not like a bad smell. It's just very sweet. It has a very sweet smell. It reminds me of lip gloss that I used to wear in high school. That was just like that really sweet, flavored, scented kind of lip gloss. You know what I'm talking about? But it's not bad, and it stays pretty well. It's not like a, you know, you can wipe your lips off, but it does have good lasting power, which I really, really like. So those are kind of the things that I've picked up so far this month. I am not on a no-buy this year, and I have a wish list of some stuff that I want to pick up. And despite the fact that all this was drugstore, I think that I'm going to be purchasing some, like one thing here and there a month over the course of the next year to kind of replace things as I run out of them. So like I said, I want to get some foundations that are cruelty-free and kind of higher end. There's a whole list of some that I want to try, but I want to get through, I have like 4 open drugstore foundations right now. So I want to get through those, but when I get through those, I want to replace them with like either the Juice Beauty one or maybe Bare Minerals or maybe something from Pure. I saw some really good reviews of the Pure foundation. So if you guys have any experience with that, I'd really, really like to hear about it. These are the foundations I'm thinking of trying, and this is the biggest part I'm having a hard time deciding on, because once I pick a foundation, I like to try and stick to that. I don't want to have 4 foundations open like I have right now. So I'm thinking I want to get the Pure foundation or the Stila Stay All Day. Juice Beauty is another one that I was looking into. They have a serum foundation. I might get the Josie Maran one again, but I haven't seen that one in a while. I don't know if they still sell it. Cover Effects is a brand that I've never tried, and they are famous for their foundations. So those are some foundations that I'm kind of thinking and considering purchasing, and I'd like to hear from you guys what foundations you are really liking, if you like any of those, particularly if you have dry skin. So let me know that down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out either of these 2 videos if you haven't yet. And you can hit this circle that's showing up around my face right now and subscribe. There should be something right here too. Click any of those. And better yet, hit the bell when you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.